Testing, testing. Okay. So tomorrow is the update. So I can't change too many things because I'll have to start testing. But yeah, the only thing that's left is looking at some more entity behaviors, and that's because I realized yesterday the wolves, they have a leap attack, but they need to be lined up to do that. And the problem is, once they detect that they are lined up, they wait a turn to signal that they're about to attack, but in that turn the hero is already gone, so they are super ineffective right now. Hey Squint, checking in. Nice to see you. How you doing? So I'll look at the wolves to make them more effective, but generally I found that there may be too few enemies in the game, so that's what I'll fix first. Previously there were too many, now there are mostly too few, so I'll add a function that, so all the spawn points in the world of the enemies, they are fixed, and I'll add a chance that instead of one enemy it spawns two of the same type. But that'll be on a ramp, so the further you're into the path, the more likely it is that the enemies multiply. I tried that just before stream with the by altering the map before you start playing. So basically writing more spawn points into the world itself. But I can't really test that. So I'll have to do it when the entities are actually spawned. But the problem with that is that it's pretty much open heart surgery. So this is this right here is the core of the entity call it a system for the game, and that is moving the entity map. So all the loaded entities are in a 2D array around the hero, and it moves with the hero across the map, and new entities that are found in the map data are spawned in to the game, and ones that fall out of the map are unloaded. And this is the actual spawn function. When a new spawn point enters the entity map, but it only handles one. Only ever handles one new entity. So that's the problem. Sounds effective. It's pretty simple. That's the positive. The negative is that I have to shift all the entities in the map when the map moves. So that's a big mem copy every time of all the pointers in the map. So yeah, that's pretty resource intensive. But yeah, the positive is that it's pretty simple. So I'm not quite sure how I'll handle this. So this is called when at this position the new spawn is found, and it's just put into the index. But to make things worse, it's not put in the entity map itself, but into a copy map. a copy of the map that is then, I think, written over the actual map with an offset. So this is pretty scary. Maybe could I do this after the first entity is spawned? So I spawn one, and then the entity itself decides to spawn a copy of itself. Hey Ethan, how's it going? Nice to see you. Yeah, but I'll have to do it here if I do the multiple spawns. I'm doing fine. Seen the latest comment on that update video? So random. You mean the one suggesting I should read the Quran? Or what was it? I mean, that's yeah, that's it. I mean, that's probably pretty kind-hearted, so that's fine. Don't have the time to, but maybe someday. Yeah, but so I need to rewrite the spawn function, spawn entity, and it's called in two places. The first one is the initialization of the entity map, and the second one is when it moves and finds a new one, and it just returns an entity. So I could make this a void function and place the entity in this function, insert it into the map, so then I could just call spawn entity here, and down here as well. But the fact that this puts it in the copy buffer makes that worse. And I could try to understand why this is put in the copy buffer, but this is all. So this code has cost me many nights because my brain is just not made to understand this. But it's basically using a trick in that only ever the edges of the map change. I think so. Or that's gone. But no. Clear and spawn. Now outside. Yeah, it just checks if the entity move puts a row or a column out of commission, and just handles that. But yeah, I think that didn't work, and I went back to the copy method. Well, it's all pretty complicated. Something I was expecting to see on an update video. My favorite comment is, "What the fuck did I just find?" That's also funny. Too minimalistic. What is this? A prayer simulator? It's still a good one. Doesn't beat the shock that guy had in finding an update video for a game he's never heard about. Yeah. People are pretty funny. And I'm afraid it's starting up again. The video, the view count is rising again. So we may get some more attention. It's at 14K now. Yeah, it's crazy. But I see in the analytics that the curve is pointing straight up again. It lingered a bit overnight, but it's back at it. So how could I solve this in another way? I could of course just go through the world and put more markers down. Maybe that's the simplest solution, actually. And I really only need it for the wolves. And the jackals. Wait, no, jackals have no leap. But I need it for the wolves. Probably the jackals. But it would be a really nice feature to tweak the game balance. But then the actual solution would be to make the enemy spawns procedural. So this is just a crutch. Let me look at the how many wolves there are. Don't think that many. Wolf. Okay, no wolves. That's reassuring. Okay. Maybe here. Nope. Not finding the wolves. Finds fireplaces. Okay, it finds jackals. Maybe I didn't place wolves. That would make sense. So I'm looking at the minimap to see where the jackals are. Okay, there are quite a few. So that'll take probably half an hour. So I'll maybe do that later. I mean, I basically have the feature, but it's just not really testable. Let me go back. So here it is. Adjust enemy spawn, and then if it's a wolf or a jackal, then spawn more of them. This is the function. Multiply spawn. So let's just multiply everything. Everything times 3. And okay, that seems to work. Knife, zombies on the house. No, on the roof. That's pretty funny. Okay, is that 3 or is that... That's more than 3. Oh. It places the cobalt marker. The new one, the additional one. Then it moves over a tile and sees the cobalt and spawns 3 again. And repeat. Subway, stuff for kind of people. Will be more and more of those since video gain traction. So YouTube experiments. More with target audience. Some more of generic TikTok consuming glue sniffers will be included. That's not nice. I think that's a thing, isn't it? The Subway Surfers is cropped in the video alongside of another video to keep people watching. I've only ever seen memes of that. Why does it go dark? Okay, it's not reassuring. It was actually pretty cool not having the light on the hero. But of course it's too dark. Yeah, so this doesn't work. Or maybe, so I know that the, oh god, this is so bad. I know that the tile generator goes from northeast to south, northwest to southeast. So I can just spawn to the left or up, and that won't trigger the cascade. But that's just horrible. That's just horrible. Okay, I guess no multiple spawns until I've decided to completely switch to procedural placement. Because that's all just too scary. And just patchwork. Okay. All right, let's look at the wolves. Leap. What is that? Game? No, that's entities. Leap. Nope. What is it? Pounds. Great. So let's look at the problem actually. So I have the wolves here, and I don't know if you saw the shot yesterday, but that showcases it pretty well. So if I need wolves, thank you. If I just walk around here, they never catch me if I don't stand still. They want to, so if I stand still, then they attack me. but not when I keep moving. So the idea is that they need to be ready to attack. So the idea is that I just ready them randomly sometimes. So that they, yeah, so that when you step into their path, they'll pounce. Damn it, don't bother with TikTok. My partner does, and sometimes falls asleep to them when she doesn't. An advert comes up and it plays on repeat over and over and over. So that's how they make money. Instagram Reels is all I watch. It's 99 ice hockey clips on news. Pounds. So what this does, how it works. So the enemy is either in combat or out of combat. If it's in combat and it has the pounce flag, then it calls the pounce function every turn. And in that turn it checks, is it in range to attack? So can it pounce? If yes, then it readies. If it's already ready, then it goes to attack. If it's not in range, it tries to find a position where it can attack. And the attack is just what you saw. So what if I say, if randomly every third turn, stupid fly, every third turn on average. Well, actually, should I choreograph this? Don't think so. I think I should. So let's make a variable. No idea why I called it A3, but it is a thing that's won every third turn, individual to that entity. So it just adds the entity pointer to the entity's turn, modulos that with 3, and then I have a rhythm for that entity. So let's say if A3 is 1, then I just ready. I should check if it's in range. Or rather out of range. So yeah. But this function is only called when it's in combat, so it is near the hero. Daniel. No idea what you just said. So let's try this. I need wolves. And of course I didn't save that. Okay, it's something's happening, but it's not printing the yellow, not flashing yellow before it attacks. What is going on? Oh, I need to call prep. And let's check the cooldown as well. All right. Oh, great. Yeah, so apart from the wolves, I want to look at the zombies, because I realized that there are only all the entities that I gave abilities are relatively rare, which is bad. Okay, let's see. Maybe I should. Well, it's still pretty. Okay, this one attacked. I mean, it's better. Ouch. And but if I limit this to when if maybe I don't need let's just test this. So if the distance the wolf to the hero is 2, then ready. Well, that's probably too much. Let's do it this way. Okay. Yeah, actually, what happens if a wolf charges through another wolf? Nothing. Okay. I can still move around pretty easily without anything happening. Even with 6 wolves. So let's make it always. And the Manhattan distance is not the right thing, I think. First of all, maybe let's make it attack even if it's near you. And then let's make this less than or equal to 3. Okay, wolves. Still nothing. What? Okay, now they just don't attack. Yeah, I forgot this. I think so. Okay, that's not working. Let's try it this way. Okay, I blocked something. What did I do? Oh, it returns every time. Okay. If prep is 0, that would maybe help. Okay, there wasn't. Oh, okay. No, this is different. This is better. Okay. They're getting more deadly. And maybe let's give the jackals this move also. Well, maybe. Not sure I gave the actual frequency in the variable name. That's stupid. I probably don't need that. Okay. Jackal. Let's give this same ability. So this actually feels like a pack of rabid dogs. So that's pretty cool. Always keeping their distance, but then jumping at you when they see an opening. Pretty cool. Okay. I think that works. So the other thing is the skeletons. The idea was that these skeletons, well, actually that's maybe too complicated, so let's look at that later. But the zombies. I was thinking maybe these zombies, because they don't do anything right now, maybe they should grab the hero. And hold them in place for one turn. The question is, how do I do that? Because that's of course not the main thing. The main thing is that they do damage. And I need to visualize that with some kind of feedback. But I think I have blink. So I have a stun. Yeah, that actually works. So if I stun the hero, I'm not sure if I handle that correctly. Let's see. I mean, the not being able to move, but still taking turns. Not sure if that's still handled correctly. But wait, how do I handle these spider webs? Because they could use a blinking feedback. Okay, that's already an entity. That's web. Yeah. Okay, this is stuck. Or this. Let's see. Not sure why it's not the same, actually. Being stuck and being stunned. That's seems duplicate. Seems like a duplicate thing. Okay, let's put down some webs. Okay, that's much better. Okay, I handled that correctly, being stuck. So let me see where being stunned is used. Don't think it's used at all, actually. Okay, it's used all over the place. But could all be unused. Oh yeah, that was for the hammer. The hammer is gone. So that's not actually the Well, it is kind of. Do I want to change that now? Yeah, so this can go. Melee attack that stuns the victim, but it's not used. So let's remove that. That's easily done again with just the strike. And let's remove the stuck thing and rename it all to stun. With the help of the compiler. Okay. That's just one thing now. Don't need that. Don't need that. Yeah, you can see the duplication here in the code. It's all the same. And that's it. Okay, so how would the zombie grabbing work? Let's put down some zombies. Where are they? Here. So they are slow. I may be able to decrease their visibility. So they only enter combat when you get really near them. Because right now they behave kind of like everything else. But could also be less interesting. I mean, it would be more interesting, but it would be less challenging. And I don't have a variable for individual monsters' visibility. So that would be a whole thing. Could make an exception for these zombies, or I could give them a flag that says nearsighted or something. That would be easier. So yeah, let's do that first. Struct. No. Then the flags. Let's add a flag. Oh, do I have blinded? No. Let's add blind. For the lack of a better name. Limited range of vision. Oh god. Good enough to understand. Objects. Oh, that's in game. So that's the ping function. Ping. Yeah. So the enemies don't actually see the hero. The hero projects itself onto the entities. So that is the ping function. And the visibility is right here. So if it has the blind flag, set the visibility to 3. Have you considered programming with Codex or Claude Code? No. Okay. Zombies again. Okay, let's walk into them. Oh, they're pretty fast with walking also. So I'll have to slow them down. Why not? They're pretty good. I disagree. Where is the me in the function? A wander. Oh. And one wander. Okay. Yeah, so apart from the ideological thing that I want to do everything myself, they short circuit everything, so you don't have a clear map of the code in your brain, and that's yeah, I can't work like that. Wonder if it's fast, then okay, slow is not slow enough then. 4 is not 4. Not 4. Hello? Are the zombies not slow? Undead. They are. Okay, they are basically not moving. They don't have aggro. So let's reduce the... I think 4 was okay. Let's reduce the visibility to 2. Okay, let's wait a bit. Yeah, they're pretty slow up there. Except for this one. Wait. Okay, that's still super high visibility. Something's not right. Where's it used? Greater than... What? Looks fine. Maybe I should, yeah, maybe I should add the flag. That could possibly help. Okay, classic. Okay, let's see. Yeah, that zombie doesn't do anything. Okay, this is pretty cool actually, but it scatters them apart again, so less challenging. But it feels much more like fighting zombies now. If it's not the... If you're thinking the classical zombies and not the 28 days later hordes. But they already have double health, so... but I don't really like that they lose they lose sight of you. So let's restrict this to only being out of combat. Combat timer. Yeah. So then when they are in combat, they can chase you. Does it chase me? Yeah, it's just super slow. Maybe I should make it three tiles away for the aggro. Because you can kind of walk around them. Let's go somewhere with zombies. Yeah, I can just walk away. Why is that zombie so fast? Yeah, but it feels much more alive. And yeah, I mean, having a choice in fighting an enemy or not is also a good addition. So I think that's actually pretty good. I'll have to do some runs to find out if it really works. Let's keep it for now. It's pretty cool. Okay. Yeah, no grabbing. Should I add the grabbing? Probably. Let's add the grabbing. So I need another flag. Should I start with the flag? Grabs the victim, stun them. This time I'll add it directly. So that doesn't happen again. And then I'm just taking the ghouls with me right now till they have their own ability. Already locked. Okay, thank you. So if an enemy has the grab ability, then they grab. Oh, I could I? So the zombie. This is an if-else statement, so I can do either grabbing or just doing a melee attack. But I could alter the melee function. Because there's something, there's another switch here. DI. That makes it pretty simple. But I only want the zombie to oscillate between grabbing and striking, I think. Or I'll just make the grab strike as well. That's the easy solution. Let's do that first. What's that? Yeah, struct T direction. Makes entity E grab and stun the foe at in direction DI. Would you play around with zombies, raising the alarm for other zombies, or is that a little too 28 days later, where they have a mob mentality? Not sure if it's easy to not have that cascade to everything nearby, but I have an alert ability for the kobolds, so the kobolds do that. If it isn't broken, I'll have to check. The kobolds actually alert other kobolds. But yeah, I think it would, well, I think right now having these zombies just be hunks of meat that are really slow, but stand in your way is probably enough. But yeah, for other more intelligent creatures, that's totally fair game. Okay, so it strikes. And strike does return, or is success? Why are there still these flags in here? Not even in the file. So if strike is success, whatever that is. If it's not, rather, I think this has to return something. I should actually look. Success is 1. Repeat. Yeah, there's no repeat. So let's just remove this. Much better. And repeat. It's not there. Okay. As yeah, the upright corpses effectively. Yeah. Alright, it's another library day for me, so I'm off. Keep up the good work. Alright, have fun in the library. Thanks for stopping by, Squint. Yeah. Have fun in the library. Okay, if strike didn't work, don't think there's a reason it shouldn't, because because it's already standing near the hero with all of this. But if it doesn't work, then just return, and then I'll just apply the stun. Where's an entity add function? That I can use nowhere. Okay, struct entity et. I don't need position. I can do that. Add two vectors of two integers. That's the entity position and direction to offset. So that's the position, the direction, the position in the direction next to the zombie. And if there's nothing there, then who knows what happened, but that's it. But if there's something there, then apply a stun for maybe one turn. What does the web do? What does the web do? 2. Okay, so 2. And 3, 4, 5. Let's steal that. Okay, it only shakes. I think that should probably have a screen flash. And well, the thing is, well, if the hero is stunned, the zombie won't move. So for this to make sense conceptually, they have to stay together for the duration that the hero is grabbed. But I don't care for checking that. So if the zombie doesn't walk away or gets killed while the hero is stunned, then that should be fine. Let's try with this stun duration of, I think that's 3 turns. And should return a value. Turn 1. And there's an error. Turn function melee should not return. What? 1368. Okay. So no return. Whatever. Let's see if they grab. They only grab if they hit you. Okay, I'm grabbed. It's actually pretty... They should do that every time. Yeah, that's not a chance occurrence. Oh, I'm stupid. I could have just said, okay, sometimes they grab with just this A3 cadence thing. And then have the grab not do damage, but... Alright. Not that important. It's also more confusing if the enemies have two different abilities. Oh, this is... Okay. Okay, I'll... This needs to have a cooldown. So... Or else I'm getting stun locked. So... If... I'm not stunned. That's probably not enough. Where is the cooldown? I think the cooldown... I can just give it a cooldown. But that's... Oh yeah, wait. Yeah, why not? It doesn't attack you while it keeps you in lock, but everything else can. That's to get around the problem of it. So yeah, if the cooldown's longer than the duration you're stunned, then that's fine. Turn 0. Actually, that's the other way around. It's greater than 0. Return. Prevent stun lock. Okay, I'm held. And then it releases me after a time. So that's pretty cool. It's also pretty realistic. And that it doesn't do damage while it's holding on to me. Wait, does it wake up again? I mean, does it get out of the... Yeah. Out of the cooldown. Okay, then I think that's pretty cool. See how that works with... Okay, why don't they move? When I'm stunned. Okay, that one attacked me. But they don't close in. That's weird. Oh, I think that's a pathfinding problem. Okay, this is bad. Oh. This is really bad. Wait. Why did it... Okay, that's... Almost GG's. Why did they have me in stun lock? I guess as soon as the timer runs out, the other zombie hits me with it again. Okay, so yeah, I need to fix the pathfinding. But there's a conflict between having them line up well for the spear attacks and them walking past each other. Yeah, so I'll have to figure that out. But that's pretty cool. I'll playtest that later. So the third thing is the skeletons. So the idea was that these skeletons don't die, but they stand up again after a couple of turns. The problem with that is that I don't have... Wait, actually that's not a problem. So I have all these bone piles lying around in the world. Here, for example. They are currently obstacles and destructible. I could make them objects that lie on the floor, so you can walk over them. I can turn these skeletons into those when they die. And the bone piles just turn into skeletons again. The problem is the whole world is full with these bone piles and the skeletons. So they either have to be something different. That would be pretty fun if they... Maybe if I just change the color. Have them not be an obstacle. And then you have these two variants, but that would also be... No, that would also be bad. So what I could do, I could programmatically remove all these skeletons and turn all the... make the bone piles skeletons in disguise. And then when you chop one down, it drops bones. That would be pretty cool. So let's first try... I should actually commit all this other stuff. Let me do that real quick. refactor. It's enough for the debug stuff. Remove, fail, succeed, repeat flags. Well, not flags, but whatever. Oops. Assist diff. So, okay. I added the grabbing, and that's it. That is mainly update codex texts. And yeah, that's just variable names. And make super attacks break weapons faster. Add bind flag visibility flag. That was, I hope that was okay. Layout. More choppable objects. That can go. Make, oh, that's just refactor. Div struct, add blind and grab flags, and then oh yeah, I have to remove those again. Okay, I already did. Try multiple. Spawn multi. Oh god. Okay. Skeletons. Let's build this so I have the files again. Not the make file, but the globals. And then I need the pile. bone pile. Let's make that not an obstacle. Indestructible. Test that right away. There they are. Okay, can walk over them. Then adjust enemy spawn. If it's a skeleton or a necro, actually. Well, I think all the necros are spawned from skeletons, so that's okay. Return 0. So all the skeletons are gone. Spare parts. Just found the game yesterday. Love the look. Thanks. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, so let's test that. Let's go somewhere where there are skeletons. Where did I jump last time? There are skeletons. Let's jump here. And they are gone. Okay. Then I think I need to oh, that's bad. I would have to change the pile from a prop into a trap. Yep. But that's destructive. So that's also bad. Is this a multi-level dungeon or one level? So there's the overworld and then there's an underworld. So if you look at this is the overworld. Doesn't come across well on stream because of the bitrate. The bitrate dies when I scroll around. But yes, there's a large overworld, and then there's dungeons and interiors, so huts, for example. If I jump in here and go into the hut. Yeah. So how do I solve that? Also, the problem is that some of these, these skeletons here don't have the bone piles with them. And I should probably remove the bone piles, turn them into something different, and turn all the skeletons into the bone piles. So that's just thinking backwards. So basically I leave the bone piles as is and just make the skeletons drop something, and then later I can turn the bone piles into something different, etc, etc. That's much more sensible. So pile, I'll leave that as is. Actually, let me just check out this. Goes back to normal. And then I need a new trap object. Where are they? Spikes. I just can't wait. I think bone is taken. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Maybe just call that skull. Yeah, that's much better. Human skull. Dusty. Found in the deepest dungeons. That does make sense. The human skull, and to say that you can find it anywhere, but let's leave it at that. That's not the task. So I have the skull. It needs a sprite. So let's do that. Undeclared. Okay, let's do something else first. Traps. Here. Hiding a skeleton. What? Okay, that's left over from somewhere, but that's good. Just take that. That should build now if I can type it. Yep. And yeah, the sprite. So let's see. I think this is pretty. Chances that this are used is pretty slim. So let's try. Maybe something like that. That's pretty good. So that's 355. And it's a beige color. A skeleton. What? Skeletons drop nothing. Okay. Integrated sprite editor. Well, it's super basic, yeah. Just a bitmap editor, basically. I think the Microsoft Paint, but you only have the pencil tool. That's basically what it is. Where are the loots? Okay, so let's add the skeleton. And that drops a skull. Okay. Let's see if there are no chances here to not drop that. Don't think so. And then in game, the turn. So the skull. What I need is exactly that. Need the distance. And this is, yeah, that's basically what it is. Raise. Yeah, so I have the raise function for the necromancer, and I can just take the visual effects from there. And actually the whole code. Yeah, wait, that's the question. What does the necromancer do? Skeletons wake up on their own. Okay, here it is. Skeletons and archers get turned into necromancers 10% of the time. Let's just remove them from the game for now. But I still want this. Oops. Hello. Copy, paste. So, if the hero gets near the skull, and entity table, that's... yeah, that's irrelevant. That's also irrelevant. So the new entity is a skeleton. And then I just simply... dude. Okay, that's a farmer. The tractor. So I just simply replace, I overwrite the pointer of the skull with the new skeleton, and that's it. Undeclared, that is ET. Let's see if that works. Because I threw them all away. Okay, I need skulls. And there they come. Okay, crashed. Oh, yeah. Thank God that crashed. Otherwise I wouldn't have caught that. So the problem is I need to check if something is standing on top of the skull and not spawn if something is. Otherwise, the entity just gets blasted into oblivion, the one standing on the skull, and then the garbage collector freaks out and crashes. So I can only do this. And actually, okay, these two don't have the problem. Those are similar, but they spawn zombies and raptors. But they are different in that they are not, you can't walk on top of them. So I need to check this. If the entity at the position of the skull is not the skull, return. So that means something standing on top. And that should fix that. Let's test that again before I introduce crashing bugs. Yeah, and I don't like the sprite of the skull. But yeah, I mean, it's okay. Dude. Okay. Alright, didn't crash there. I'll catch it in with the bot if it's still a problem. Okay. And that's basically it, I think. Let me jump into a dungeon with skeletons. Wait, do I still remove all of them? That's stupid. Okay. Let's see. Okay, maybe it could leave some. There's one. Okay. That's it. That could be a problem. Could be a slight problem here. It has to have a timer, obviously. So how do I do it with the foam? There's the foam. If HPD plus plus is less than the health. Okay, that's good. So the health of the foam is similar in that it just disappears. I can use the same tactic to not spawn a skeleton until the time has elapsed and the foam. Okay, it's at 20. I think that's not good. Yeah, that's bad. That's better. And the same here. So yeah, I've added real enemy health and attack scaling. So they are all relative. This one here means it has the base health value. The form is still at 20 because it needs to tick down, so it needs to actually use the raw value, not the scaled one. But yeah, if I put this to 20, then 20 is too much. I think 4 is enough to walk away, but it should. Let me just set it here. Raise the skeleton. That makes no sense. I can't set it. Let's just try 4. Problem is that if it has, wait, actually, it's not a problem. The problem is if the value is too large, then when you encounter the skull laying on the floor, it won't have its counter elapse until you're passed by. Already, 20 is too high. 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's make it 8. Actually, let's jump into the dungeon. And it comes again. Okay, that's pretty fast. So maybe 20 is actually better. Oh, I like that. That's actually pretty neat. If I walk back, this one stands up again. It's pretty deadly. That's pretty deadly. I'll have to test that. This is really cool. I like that. Now, I could turn all the generate tiles, could turn all the skeletons into skulls. Would probably be good. So if this is a skeleton, and now it's a skull. And I could change it in the world, but this is I'm not sure about this, so I'd rather not edit the world data for this. Spawn as skulls. Okay, that makes sense. Leave me some skeletons, please. Okay, they're skulls. Oh. Okay, I like this. This is pretty neat. Okay, that one didn't spawn directly because the 20 turn limit. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Want to hear Haskell fun fact? As long as it's fun. But it may just go over my head. That's a strong possibility. Haskell is lazy. See? Nothing. Yeah, I've never programmed in Haskell. And I can barely read Lisp. Actually, not really. So, sorry about that. Pretty sure it was pretty funny. Yeah, these skeletons are awesome. They're pretty cool. It could be that they break the game somewhere, but great. But I'll test that off stream. Alright guys, thanks for all the support. I'll be off for today. I won't stream tomorrow because I'm doing the update. And that takes all day. So I'll see you again on Saturday. Alright, thanks for stopping by, and join the Discord if you want to. And I'll see you next time. Alright, bye bye.